What is going on today, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm having a good day, and it's about to get better because a part just came in. So, on the 21 Yukon, it's gone ahead and had a part fail on it already. It's got, what, 25,000 miles on it, and I've got a part failing on it. Now, I probably should be taking it in for a warranty, but with it, it's a $10 part on Amazon, and a couple minutes of my time versus taking it into the dealership, getting a time and dealing with all that, letting them have it for probably a day, them not having the parts. I'll fix it myself. For 10 bucks, I'll just fix it myself. So the windshield washer fluid has stopped pumping the fluid out. The wipers go and you can't hear the pump going anymore, so I think the pump's going out, but we're gonna go ahead and diagnose some things. I've ordered the pump already, so I'm pretty certain it's the pump. But we'll go ahead, I'll show you how I diagnosed it and go through some things to see if this is the problem for you guys. So let's go ahead, I'm in the car, we got the keys in the car. Let's go ahead and turn this on. I'm not gonna put my foot on the brake to turn on, but I'm gonna push the start button to get the vehicle active. Now that it wants me to push start, now that the vehicle's active, we'll go ahead and turn the wipers on. The wipers work, and if I go ahead,
like cyclists, pedestrians, and
if I go ahead and push the wiper, try to get some fluid out, no fluid's coming out of it. It's just gonna run the wiper forever. You can't hear the motor working in it, so 90% of the time, that's probably what our problem is. But let's go ahead and look further into this thing. Well, let's go ahead and pop our hood. Now that the hood's up, our windshield washer fluid's over here. Pop it open, but the pump is actually down further in. So this top part, it's got a sending unit. Let's see if I can get some better light in there. So with the washer, we've got our cable that's coming over the top here. And you can kind of see down in there, that top plug is to the top of the washer. And there's a plug down further that's for the sensor, the low level sensor. So we got to take this top one out. Now this pump is just sitting in there, so you can literally just take it and pull it right up, and it pulls right out of the grommet. So here it is, we've got our pump out, our wiring needs to get undone, and then there's two cables. This goes into a grommet, so this, I believe, one of them's for the front, one of them's for the back, so that the pump spins one way to push it this way and the other way to push it the other way. So one's front, one's back. You flop them if it's backwards, but pump just pulls right out, and then we'll go ahead and I'm gonna get a screwdriver because I can't get my fingers in there very well to get that off, and then these should just pop right off. One for each side. There's one on the bottom. We'll get both of those off of there. Now we're just left with the power. So as you can see, it's a tight fit in there, but I was able to get my hand down. Now the left hand works best. You just kind of feel that cable, feel it going down, and you can just pull the whole apparatus up, and it pops right out of that socket, just comes right out of it. And then you can pull it kind of easy up around the fender. The hoses like to get caught underneath the washer reservoir, but you just move them to the front of the car and it just comes right around the side, and you can lift it almost all the way out without having to do anything, and then you can work on it outside. If you're having troubles with it still, you can go through the bottom of the fender. It's probably easier, but it's quicker just to do it this way. I was going for convenience, my hand could fit in there. So it is probably quicker, but it's a lot more convenient to go through the fender. The fender, you're gonna be taking the fender liner out. It takes Torx bits and I don't know what else. Let's look. So it does have Torx bits. It looks like it's probably 15, and then there is a couple pressure clips up inside of there that will have to come out, and you could probably pull that liner down enough to get your hands in and from the bottom. So it's easy enough. I got skinny enough hands, they were able to fit in there and contort my way to pull that pump out. So we can go ahead, I'll run it, and it should turn the pump on if I'm running the wipers. So let's go ahead, run the wipers, and see if we can get this pump to make a noise. So there you go. That's the quickest way to figure out if the pump's working or not. But now we need to diagnose to see if it's a fuse, because it could possibly be a fuse that's blown. So let's go ahead, and we're gonna have to get the multimeter out and check to see if there's even voltage going to it. So that's the next logical thing to do if it's an expensive part. This isn't a super expensive part, so I just went and bought it already. So let's go ahead, toss it on, and see if that kicks over and turns stuff on. Same thing as a multimeter, it'll spin or it won't spin. So here's the OEM part and here's the Amazon part. Now looking at it real quick, it looks like the diaphragm is going to be pushing it the wrong way. So I might have to swap those two around to get it going the right way, because it might push it out the rear instead of when I want the front. So I'm pretty sure I'll have to flop which way these little guys go right here. So I'm pretty sure this one's the rear. I don't know, I could blow air through it and figure it out real quick, but we're just gonna temporarily hook it up. It's not hard to pull it out, flop them. So we'll go ahead, put this in real quick and see if it even starts with power. So this is how I've got it hooked up. So this is opposite of what this one was. This one was the white with the white. So I've gone ahead and flipped it on this. So the sides are, this is pointing the wrong way. You can kind of tell, but it's pointing the wrong way. So I put it, I'm assuming that the fatter side is for the rear and the skinnier side is for the front, or I'm just switching them from what factory was, because this piece that's on here is flipped the other way. So we'll try it. If not, we'll flip it back around and make it easy. So the kit does come with a new rubber grommet for it. I've only got, 25,000 miles on the car. The rubber grommet's still in there. It doesn't look super fun to replace, so we're going to leave the one that's in there. Put a little bit of grease around it so it doesn't leak. Easier to go in. Here we go, test number one. Let's see if we can actually hear this thing running, and then I'll probably put some water in it to test it, and then we'll put some actual fluid in it. Well, there we go, it starts. So let's go ahead, and I'm fairly confident that that's gonna fix it. Now, pulling that out, I lost all my washer fluid. There was washer fluid in it. Now I've got none up to the pump. So the pump needs something to pump. Let's put some washer fluid in it and see if we can get this pump to push fluid again. Because now we know that it's working, but it has nothing to pull up to push. So let's make it, fill it up and make it so it has something to push. Well, that's kind of weird. It definitely has enough fluid in it. It's over the pump, so why is it not working? So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. There's two cables right here. Those ones are for the windshield washers right here, and they're just pinch style. Let's see, this one's the one that comes off easy, I think. That one comes off pretty easy. The other one, pinch and pull the tube out. Might be a two-handed job here. Yeah, I need my other hand for that, but just pinch it, pull the tube out. There we go, we've got both of them unplugged. Now let's see if we can get some fluid flowing through these from the pump. So both of them work. This one right here with the male end is the front and the female end is the rear. So both of them are working. The pump is pushing fluid. So why is it not making it up? Let's hook them back up and see if just running them like this gets enough fluid up there. There might be a clog up on that side that we're having problems with. So all I did was unclip it from these two clips right here. There's nothing fancy about them. They're just on the bottom. You got to open them up to clip them up. So then we'll put them back in. Both of them clip back in. Let's try this again. There we go. So I was right. I did have to flip from the OEM one to the new one. I had to flip which hose went where, because the front one is the, I don't even know if it's the white or not, but the white was on the right side on the OEM one, and now it has to be on the left side of the new one. So the new one isn't quite the same style, or isn't exactly the same. It's the same style, it's just flipped the wrong way. But the hoses were easy enough just to flip around. That way it goes to the right one. So that's awesome. So now we have front, and if we pay attention, you can see the rear is working too. I think it was 12 bucks with tax and everything included. We're back up and running, and I don't have to listen to the washer fluid level low anymore. So I'm excited. Now we can actually clean our windshield when we're driving, because that's an important thing to have. But way cool. Super glad that worked. Me being me, I want to dissect that other one, see if I can figure out why it's not working, see if there's a problem that can be fixed with it. But for right now, we've got one that works, and I'm happy. I'm going to get out of here. You guys enjoy your day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of mine now that we can see clearly now. Take it easy, everyone. Peace. If you're having problems with this on your new Yukon, Suburban, Tahoe, any of those, leave it in the comments below. I want to know if this is a common thing happening on all the new vehicles. Even probably Silverado or, I don't know what, the Sierra. Probably the same exact part on all those trucks and SUVs. So if you're having problems with it, leave it, comment below. I want to see how many people are having problems with this. Rate it 25,000 is when it went out. So if you're having troubles with it, let me know. Let me know if you went to the dealer or if this helped you out. Take it easy, everyone. Peace. Pretty sure I just found the problem. So this thing does come off, and it is switchable, so you can flip it whichever way you need to. It does come apart. There's nothing exciting in there. There's one little gasket, but I think that's my problem. It is completely rusted in there. This piece just pops straight up and then plugs in. The plug-in pops straight up. I'm going to see if I can get this out of here and see what else is corroded in there, but that's pretty nasty. That's weird. That's 100% what our problem is we've got moisture in there, and that servo or motor is shot for sure. So that's strange. I don't know what's going on with it to where, I mean, there's so much dirt and grime inside of a sealed case like this. I guess it's not gasketed, but it is. That was press fitted on there pretty tight. But that motor is shot. I can't even spin it by hand. It was just chunky in there. So that's 100% a problem. I thought it was a serviceable part, but you're not going to be able to fix it. Just get a new one.
Like cyclists, pedestrians, and